Good afternoon. My name is Laurel, and I will be your conference operator today. At this time, I would like to welcome everyone to the NHTSA Vehicle Safety Webinar. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. If you should need assistance during the call, please press star, then 0 on your telephone keypad, and an operator will come back to assist you. Thank you. I'll now turn the call over to Susan McMean, Director of Consumer Information. Please go ahead.
Well, welcome, and thank you for joining us for the first National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, known as NHTSA, Vehicle Safety Webinar. I have a couple housekeeping items to cover before we get started. You will only hear presenters during the meeting, and all participant lines are muted. However, you are more than welcome to submit questions at any point during this presentation using the gray box at the right-hand side of your screen. Your questions will be visible only to you and us, and they will not appear on other participants' screens. We will answer questions at the end of the presentation, and after the webinar, we will send you a copy of the presentation. Now, let me introduce the speakers today. We are very fortunate to have the Associate Administrator of the Office of Communications and Consumer Information, Sue Gorkowski, here today to open it up and give us an overview. And then Kiljay Hong will cover the tires and complaints and recalls section, and Mike Joyce will cover the 5-star rating and other projects we're working on at NHTSA today. So today the agenda we're going to cover is the overview. Then we're going to show you a preview reel, and then cover the tires and complaints and recalls, the 5-star ratings campaign, and also cover some general initiatives that NHTSA has been working on. Now let me turn it over to Sue Gorkowski.
Hey everybody, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. I know how difficult it is to carve out an hour out of your day, but we appreciate the fact that you have done so. And we're excited to have this opportunity to talk to you all. When I looked at the list of participants, I was really thrilled because the organizations come across a wide spectrum of groups, whether it's auto companies or safety organizations or advocate groups. There's a very different range of people joining us today, and that's really exciting for us. I guess for me, the bottom line is that we all share a common goal, no matter what side of the house you work on, and that common goal is vehicle safety. Whether we're trying to keep you safe when you're buying your vehicle, whether we're trying to keep you safe while you're driving your vehicle, whether we're talking to you about behavioral issues or vehicle issues, potential safety issues. I think the bottom line for everybody on the phone and everybody here at NHTSA is that we want everybody to work together to keep vehicles and those who drive and ride in them as safe as possible. So, at NHTSA, one of the ways we do this is that we develop various campaigns with messages and materials that we like to push out to the public so that we can get our messages out on the various safety topics. We are one small merry band back here, though, and we can't do this without your help and support. So the fact you're on this call today is really terrific. And I hope that you get excited by some of the things that the team is going to show you. They have been working long and hard on these initiatives and these materials, and I think they've got some really exciting things that they want to share with you. So we're going to take a minute and highlight some of those upcoming vehicle safety initiatives. But before I have the marketing specialists introduce you to those initiatives, we are going to play a short 45-second video that will give you kind of a high-level highlight of what some of the things they're going to be talking about are. So there may be a few seconds of silence at the end of the video in order to allow for varying internet speeds. So go ahead and turn up the volume on your computer now and enjoy.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Kiljay Hong, and I am a marketing specialist in NHTSA's Office of Communications and Consumer Information. I'm here to share with you some information on our tires education campaign, as well as our upcoming complaints and recalls campaign. I'd like to start with tires. NHTSA is committed to educating consumers about all aspects of tires, from purchasing to how good tire maintenance contributes to vehicle and personal safety. NHTSA is launching a tires information campaign to educate consumers on the criticality and benefits of good tire maintenance. The campaign also aims to increase awareness about how to purchase the right set of tires for a particular vehicle and driver. This campaign also includes information about the issues of tire aging, tire safety, and tire fuel efficiency. And should there be a tire recall, NHTSA wants to ensure that all affected consumers are contacted and encouraged to take action. So we will be reminding consumers to register their tires with their respective manufacturers to ensure this communication takes place when needed. This campaign will also feature materials that include a video and a detailed infographic which focuses on tire maintenance benefits. In addition, we will have a section on our website for retailers which will include a guide that features ideas on how one can use our materials and apply it to a point-of-purchase environment. All of these materials will be available on a brand new landing page dedicated to tires on safercar.gov. The URL for the landing page will remain the same as safercar.gov/tire. And later this year, we will update our SaferCar mobile app to make it easier for consumers to sign up for tire recall alerts. Next, I would like to present to you an overview on NHTSA's upcoming complaints and recalls campaign. NHTSA is the only agency authorized to conduct vehicle safety defects investigations and administer safety recalls, but most of our tips, if you will, come from the public. Each year, NHTSA receives tens of thousands of complaints from consumers, which may lead to an investigation and subsequently a recall. This process increases the safety of vehicles on the road and the safety of drivers, passengers, and pedestrians. NHTSA's overarching goal with this campaign is to increase public awareness about the agency, its investigations and recalls processes, and how it benefits the consumers to work with us. As a result, our goals are to increase the number of complaints that consumers file with the agency, as well as increase the recall compliance rate. The end goal is to make vehicles as safe as possible. This campaign's materials include 2 videos, one explaining the complaints and investigations process, the other informing consumers about the recalls process, and highlighting the importance of taking action should their vehicle be a part of a recall. The campaign will also include an advertising strategy that will include online and radio so we can reach out to as many vehicle owners as possible. When the campaign is ready to launch, all materials will be available on safercar.gov. And in this world of increasing technology, which includes mobile access to information, NHTSA will enhance its SaferCar mobile app to make it as easy as possible for consumers to file their complaints and receive recalls alerts. We plan to launch this complaints and recalls campaign this fall. Now I would like to introduce my colleague, Mike Joyce, to share with you information about some of our other vehicle safety campaigns.
Thanks, Gil-Jay. Hi, everyone. My name is Mike Joyce, and I'm a marketing specialist in NHTSA's Office of Communications and Consumer Information, and I manage communications for the 5-Star Safety Ratings Program. As many of you know, the Government 5-Star Safety Ratings Program is one of NHTSA's consumer campaigns and our vehicle for promoting crash test ratings. We know consumers are familiar with the brand from automaker TV ads and from the Monroney label. But what's more important is that they understand how keeping safety top of mind can ultimately help save their lives. We want to remind the car-buying public that our program has evolved, and it's about much more now than just the overall vehicle score that provides relative safety information, but that there are also emerging advanced crash avoidance technologies that can help prevent an impending crash and protect your family. We know that many vehicle shoppers also are in the dark about recommended technologies such as rear-view video systems or lane departure warning, and even additional safety technologies such as dynamic brake support or crash imminent braking. So how do we do that? Well, because the way consumers digest information differently these days, we've gotten away from producing fact sheets and text-heavy collateral and are instead rolling out much more engaging, consumer-focused, interactive assets. So, for instance, our new videos about the 5-star safety ratings and advanced technologies are playful in the sense that the crash test dummies take on a life of their own and sell safety for us. And our infographics are interactive in a way that you can move around a vehicle and click on technologies to learn more about what they do, where they're located on a vehicle, and more importantly, what are some of the features to be considered when making purchasing decisions. So these and other digital assets will be rolled out later this year on safercar.gov. We're confident your customer base will also find great value in them. So in addition to the 5-star safety ratings campaign, I also wanted to take a second to talk about other general vehicle safety initiatives that NHTSA has going on. NHTSA has an interactive timeline that we're finalizing, which is a tool that provides users with a history of NHTSA and other important dates in vehicle safety and traffic safety history. It has been designed to better educate consumers and online influencers on the decades of important and life-saving work that the agency has pioneered, including such things as tire fuel efficiency, fuel economy, 5-star safety ratings, alcohol, belts, distracted driving. The list goes on and on. There's a wealth of information there. The user will actually have the ability to drive a vehicle through time, starting in the early 1900s all the way up to the present day, to learn about various safety achievements. It's actually a pretty cool resource, if I say so myself. In addition, we also have some driving tips that we publish on an annual basis for summer and winter, but they're no longer a laundry list of tips or things to keep in mind before you hop in your vehicle with your family and get on the road. They're actually much more immersive in their landscapes that the user can traverse. They can pick and choose the topics that they want to learn about within the interactive, and they're presented with safety information after they come upon hazardous road conditions, such as ice, for example. These driving tips will also be updated frequently within the interactive. And last but not least, we launched a NHTSA video for theft prevention last year, and we plan to roll it out again during the summer months because it is the highest time of year for vehicle thefts. And currently that is viewable on safercar.gov/theft. And with that being said, those are some of the interactive great resources that we'll have available for you later on this year.
Great. Well, thank you, Mike. Now we'll take some time to answer some questions, so please feel free to submit a question. We'll give people a second, and we'll start asking them. So the first question that came in says, when will the materials be available, and where can I view them?
So the materials, most of them will be available on safercar.gov in their respective sections or landing pages, and most of the digital assets will be downloadable and viewable. The videos will be posted to NHTSA's YouTube channel, and so available there as well, and you can use the links that go to those respective videos. And we will notify everyone on this phone call when these materials are rolled out. And the timing will be scattered depending on the target dates that we shared with you earlier and throughout this presentation.
Okay, so we'll just give you a second, and we will answer some more questions. So one question is, will the agency have greater resources to insist on automaker compliance or recalls? The GM ignition situation seems to have revealed how difficult it is for the agency to put muscle behind recalls.
Yes, we will have, the answer to that is yes, the agency will have greater resources to push recalls. We will be working with the manufacturers and also ensure that recalls gets a greater presence on our website and all of our email engagement with consumers to ensure that consumers know how important it is for recall compliance should they be notified of a recall letter.
Okay, so we have another question. Will there be a law enforcement component?
Yes, there will be a law enforcement component in the sense that law enforcement can use any of these materials on their websites if they choose to. So all of these materials are going to be available to all of our various groups.
And one of our upcoming initiatives is for vehicle theft prevention, that the National Vehicle Theft Prevention Month is coming up in July, and we will be making a targeted effort to reach out to the law enforcement community to encourage them to use materials that will be available on safercar.gov.
All right, we'll just give it a couple more minutes. Do we have any other questions? Okay, another question is, will there be more social media campaigns?
All of our campaigns have a social media component to it. Over the last few years, we really have been putting a lot of effort into posting NHTSA messages, specifically vehicle safety and messages on our Facebook page, as well as tweeting on Twitter about all of the materials that we have and the messages. So we will increase our efforts, but we have been doing a lot of social media efforts behind all of our campaigns, and we will continue to do so as we've seen that has had a lot of success.
Okay, another question is, what can retailers do to help share materials?
Retailers, specifically for the Tires campaign, will be able to go to the Tires landing page. There will be a tab on the landing page dedicated specifically to retailers, and as I mentioned, there will be a guide on how to use all the materials, including our video. We will recommend they play it on their monitors at the point of purchase if there's a monitor available, to have a one-pager downloadable to present to consumers who buy a new set of tires, and that one-pager will encourage consumers to register their tires in case of a tire recall, but also lead them to safercar.gov/tire to be able to get all the information related to a life of a tire, from purchase to maintenance to safety, fuel efficiency, etc.
I got a question. Okay, so I have a question. Another question: how did NHTSA develop materials?
So the Office of Communications and Consumer Information works very closely with each individual program office, whether it be the Office of Defect Investigations for the Complaints and Recalls campaign, the Tires Program Office for our Tires Information campaign, the 5-Star Safety Ratings group for the 5-Star Safety Ratings campaign. So we work with the program office to ensure that all materials and information that we have are supported by data and research that NHTSA as an agency conducts throughout the years.
Okay, I'm going to read another question, and this question is, the industry is very divided on the topic of tire aging. How did NHTSA develop their information stance for consumers?
The Office of Communications and Consumer Information worked with the Tire Program Office very closely on ensuring that there are statistics and research behind every bit of information that we share with consumers. Our main goal is, of course, to ensure that consumers are aware of all issues related to a certain aspect, whether it be tires or fuel economy or theft prevention or whatnot, all of our campaigns. So for tire aging, we worked with the Tires Program Office and ensured that we used statistics that were gathered through research over the last few years.
Great. Thank you. Okay, we're just going to take a minute and look and see if they have any other questions, so just hold on one second. Okay, and we have, looks like, just one more question right now, and the question is, what can partners and supporters do to help raise awareness of initiatives?
For all of our campaigns, especially the materials that are available online, and most of our assets are, as Mike mentioned, digital assets, so they are readily available online. We hope that partners will be able to access it and post on their social media sites, put up assets and links on their web pages. We also write articles for newsletters if they are available, and we are here to provide information, additional information, should they not be available on our website.
Great. All right. Well, it looks like that's about it we have for questions, but if you do have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to Kiljay and Mike, and at the end of the presentation, you can see the contact information there. And we will be sending out this presentation to everyone, so you will have the information on how to contact Kiljay Hong or Mike Joyce if you do have any further questions. But first, I'd just like to really say thank you so much for taking the time to spend a few minutes with us and hear what we're working on and going to be providing to you in the near future. And secondly, we just will be following up with each of you individually and seeing how we can work closer and better together to really share all this great information that we have developed and will be sharing in the near future. So thank you once again.
This concludes today's conference call. You may now disconnect.